Hey there, everyone. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Amber.
We're identical twin sisters from Southern California. While we may look exactly alike, sometimes we think that's all we have in common.
We invite you to grab a cup of coffee
Or a glass of wine.
and hang out with us for a little bit.
This is Hashtag Twin Life Podcast.
Hello. Hi there, everybody. Hey, Twin.
Hello. What's up, Twin?
Nothing. Just, recording, getting a new podcast out for this week. I'm still having all the difficulties with my mic and everything, but it's fine. So if the sound sounds weird, it's because I was having all the difficulties today. So anyways, I'm so glad you guys are tuning in. Thank you so much for all the listens we got on last week's episode. For everyone that's listening, if you were new to our podcast, hello and thank you. I think we got like the most listens in a week that we've gotten in a while. So
Yay.
that was pretty cool. So I guess you guys really liked our episode all about, the situation with the NCAA women's basketball team. So thank you guys again for showing us love on that episode. And yeah, but that said, how was if you guys want to find us, description box, like we always say, and or show notes, depending on where you're listening, and that'll give you all the links to our socials and our, all the ways you can listen. So yeah, but anyways, so how was your week, Twin?
It was good. This weekend was Blake's birthday weekend, so we went to, where did we go? Oh, we went to Painting with a Twist for the first time, which was really cool. If you've never been to Painting with a Twist, I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. It was just like, it was some couples, some friends, and you basically sit there and paint. And Blake is like very artistic. I'm not sure how many people actually know that, but he's really, really artistic. He's a really great painter, really great drawer. He's a really good artist all around, and he hasn't really been doing a lot of art in the last few years, and so I thought that would be kind of a cool thing to kind of maybe reignite his passion for art. So he did a really good job, and I was surprised. My painting didn't turn out terrible, so that was nice. But it was a lot of fun. We had like a glass of wine and sat and watched it like an instructor. She was a really good instructor, very sweet, pretty funny girl, and we just kind of like sat there for a couple hours and painted, and then we went next door and got some barbecue. So, it was really
That
nice.
sounds fun.
It was a really good like date night. We almost the last minute didn't even have our babysitter because our babysitter texted me at like 8 a.m. and said that she was sick. And I was like, are you serious? So thankfully we have a wonderful backup babysitter who honestly I think is just on paper a little bit more qualified. Our original babysitter, she's lovely, she's super sweet. Landon loves her. I have zero issue with her. The other person though is like my age. She has a 6-month-old. She's like CPR certified. She like went to college. She lives here. She's originally from Indy. Like she actually nannied all the way through college. So like she almost took, like she said that she would have done it as a career, but she decided to do something else instead. I think she went to California for act. She went to California to act, and so she was like nannying while she was like doing her acting career as well, and while she was in college. So, so she has a lot of experience. So she's kind of more motherly, I feel like, whereas our other babysitter is like kind of cool. Like Lana likes to hang out with her because she's like a pretty girl and she's young or whatever. But, but yeah. So, but unfortunately, since she was sick, not that I'm like a COVID crazy person or anything, but like, even if she had the flu, I wouldn't want her here for at least like another whole week to go by before she was here. So we'll have the other babysitter here this weekend and for like our couples night this weekend. So I don't know. I think we may slowly but surely be like switching babysitters. But then on Sunday, Saturday was kind of just like a chill day. It was beautiful here on Saturday. And then Sunday was Blake's actual birthday. But that was Palm Sunday also. So like we just got 2 other couples together and we went and had lunch at this really, really yummy place. It was so good. It was a good, like very kind of chill, like birthday weekend. So Blake said he had fun. So I normally get like some really like unnecessarily thought out gift. And so this year, not, because last year was COVID. So, and his birthday is March 28th. So literally couldn't do anything. Like the state wasn't even kind of open in California. Like we couldn't do anything for his birthday last year. So I wanted to make sure we got some sort of like activity in. So anyways, that was really fun. But how was your week?
That sounds really fun. Yeah, so we had we didn't really do much last week. I mean, what did we do? I can't even think of something that we did last week that was like worth discussing. I mean, we did Phoenix had his class. That's something. Phoenix had his
Yeah,
class. Oh, we had a birthday party on Saturday,
there you
and
go.
Phoenix's class, so that was cool. His fitness class or strength conditioning class, so that was cool. The birthday party we took him to was super fun. It was nice to actually go to a birthday party after, because we didn't go like all last like birthday season, because most of Phoenix's like classmates have birthdays around the same time. And since no one was throwing birthday parties last year, I hadn't met like any of these kids' parents. Like I knew all his friends' names, but had never met any of their parents. They've been allowing us, I think I said this a couple episodes ago, but they've been allowing me as the pickup parent to go into the school at the end of the day. So I've actually gotten to talk to more parents and get to see more parents. And that's been really nice because like I feel like it's kind of important for me to like build like a community when it comes to Phoenix
Yeah.
and his friends. I also have been trying to build like be more like open with like finding more people to be friends with and like inviting them out. So went to lunch with a new girlfriend last week. I have lunch next week with another girlfriend from F45. So I'm really trying to like plant roots and like build a community here. So because I feel like we're going to be here for a while. So yeah, that's pretty much been it.
Yay.
I think we should go ahead and jump into our topic because I'm kind of excited to talk about this.
Yeah, it's a fun topic.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, I mean, you've seen the title already, but of this episode, so we're going to talk about the Zack Snyder Justice League director's cut, and we both saw the other Justice League, but it just was like I remember watching it and being like, this seems like really like all over the
It was
place. Like I have no idea who
campy.
any of these characters are. Yes, campy. I had no idea. Like they introduced. Okay, so I know who the two Cyborg and the Flash. And also, if you guys haven't seen the Snyder cut, you probably want to skip this episode because there's so many things that were like completely different. So go watch it and then maybe come back and listen to this episode
It's
because
totally, I promise you, it's totally worth the whole 4 hours. It may take you like, it took Blake and I like probably 2.5 sittings to watch it all the way through because it's 4
yeah.
hours and 2 minutes. And I think it took you and Derek probably 3 times, right? Of sitting down and watching
It took us 4 solid days to sit down
Yeah.
to find an hour that we could sit down together that Phoenix didn't want one of our attention. Where we
Yeah.
could sit down for an hour. And even after an hour, he was done. He was like, nope, we're done with this. We're moving on. Yeah, but we couldn't just sit down and like spend 4 hours of our day. Because another thing is too, it's not like you can passively watch it. You have to watch the 4 hours. So you can't like, turn it on and like do laundry or whatever. You have to really watch the movie. So we did it
Right.
more like a mini series than like a whole movie situation.
Yeah, which is good. But I mean, there was so much to absorb and so much going on. I think, I mean, I don't even know where to start. I kind of made some notes to
What were
help us
your
remember.
favorite moments?
I mean, my favorite moments were like a combination of the same kind of moment. There were some really dope action sequences that
Yes,
were
they just cut
not
out.
ending fight scene was so much more epic than it was in the original. Like, I mean, the Flash and Cyborg's impact on the film was so much better. I think the original. So,
Yeah.
okay, so a little bit of backstory. If you do not know why it is that Zack Snyder had they made a whole special on his edit, he was the original director of the film, but his daughter committed suicide during the filming, so he stepped away from the movie, and another director came in and did the final edits and cuts to the film. And I don't know what this man was, and just messed it all up. Like the ending's it was totally different. It was way more campy. They kept making Aquaman seem like a goober, and he's not. Like every character was so much more serious. There was also so much more going on. I mean, just connecting the past to the present, which was a thing that was completely left out of the original one. That like we're actually watching the past. The present is like post-apocalyptic, where Superman like loses his mind because Batman screws up somewhere and Lois Lane dies. So there is a phenomenal scene at the end. Again, if you have not watched it, please don't listen because I'm going to ruin one of the best moments in this film. The Joker was
That was
just
a great scene.
so awesome. Just
That
having
was a
him,
great scene.
it was awesome. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Like, he was.
So do you think you think that post-apocalyptic situation, because it turns out that that's just Bruce Wayne having a dream. You think that that's actually what is going on?
No, because
Or do you think that that's the future he's supposed to prevent?
So
Because
they
remember, he
showed
wakes up and then what's his name shows up at his house. Martian Manhunter shows up at his house.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's one of those things where it's like a multi-dimensional thing, because the Flash appears to him and tells him, like, Lois is the key. You have to stop, like, Lois is the key, Lois is the key. So I think that it may be one of those scenarios where they're living in two separate dimensions. Yeah, a multiverse scenario, like there, kind of always is in superhero movies, where simultaneously in his universe is a possible future that he has to try to prevent. So it was
and the Joker makes a comment. The Joker makes a comment to him about how in all of the different timelines, you couldn't be the one to sacrifice yourself. And this is always what happens. So, like, what happens if, like,
you die?
You died. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was really cool. Steppenwolf got the short end of the stick in the edit, I think. I think he got the shortest end.
They cast him like the whiniest little mama's boy situation. In the original movie in the first movie, they made it seem like he was like worshiping the mother box, like it was his mom or something.
Yeah.
When in reality, he was just trying to. There was a whole nother dude manipulating it. The guy that kept coming out of the boulder thing that was talking to him.
Yeah, not dark.
It was Darkseid's minion.
Darkseid's minion, but I can't remember his name. But yeah, there were characters, they full on cut these people out. Oh, the Flash's scene at the beginning where he rescues the beautiful girl that's flying out of the car.
Yeah, if you watch the Flash,
cut that whole thing out.
She's got to be, because she's black and she's obviously like mixed or biracial, but at least black of some kind. So I'm pretty sure if you watch the Flash that comes on CW, she looks just like his love interest Iris in that. And I was like, babe, that's Iris. They don't say her name. Yeah. But I feel like that was like definitely like a projection of like the storyline of what his film would be about, would have been that moment, like as a connection to his movie. You know what I mean? His own movie.
Yeah. I think they made it less about the one that was edited for theaters was very much Superman focused. This one was not. Yeah. It was a lot more focused on Cyborg's story and the Flash's story, and how like they're the ones who actually end up saving the world. And in the original one, Superman, if I remember correctly, Superman like swoops in at the last minute and helps Cyborg separate the boxes, and it's like this big Superman saves the day moment. Yeah, and that is not at all how this movie was edited, which I kind of liked it to be darker, because this whole series that they're going off of between Batman versus Superman and Superman dies, Doomsday kills Superman, like that whole thing is like a really dark part of the DC comic book world. And I think the director was trying too hard to make it lighthearted when it's not. Like, DC Comics are super dark.
And I think that was one of the things about Aquaman that I couldn't stand.
Yeah.
Like in the movie Aquaman, they made
him you guys
so
said you
annoying.
Liked it.
Right, but I did enjoy the movie, but they made him so like campy and cheesy, and it kind of takes away from Jason Momoa's, like, you realize how actually talented all these actors are by watching the Snyder's cut, because the way they cut them in the original movie was very, like, Jason Momoa's lines were all the cheesy ones. You didn't get to see like his good like monologues, his deep moments, like, and the only deep moment he had was a stupid moment with the lasso around him where he was bearing his soul, and then everyone made fun of it, you know?
Yeah.
That was like the only moment. And then I think Cyborg as well, his character was just like this brooding guy that like was angry. You never really get to see the development between his character development between his dad.
His dad's character being in there. I remember when his dad jumps in that box and he gets evaporated, I literally looked at Blake and I was like, well, that was dumb. That's freaking pointless. Why did he jump into the box for?
That was stupid.
But it wasn't stupid because
It made
you learned.
sense, but it was dumb. At the moment,
Yes.
I was like, babe, what the hell is the point of this man dying?
Right. That's what I was like, this is dumb. Why did you do that? And I was like, oh, he was actually like, he sacrificed himself for an actual reason that made perfect sense. But like in the moment, I think it just, the moment lingered too long. It lingered long
Without
enough
any
for me to,
clarification.
for me to be like, this is stupid. But then I was like, okay, so he was actually trying to power up the box so that they could find it, because he knew that there's no way they were going to be able to stop Steppenwolf. So they had to he had to do that so they could at least track it. It made sense, but in the moment it did not make sense at all.
That also clarified something in the film, because in the first movie, because remember in the original cut, the way that Cyborg finds it is like he figures out, oh, it has a certain gamma radiation that I can track or whatever.
Right.
But in the Snyder's cut, it was like, no, if it was gone, basically. And the only way you were going to be able to find it was when it was too late. So I think I like that they changed that moment. Wonder Woman, they made her so much more intelligent in this film. So many more reference to how smart she actually is, because they definitely freaking cut her as just like the tall Amazon, not super smart lady. Even though she's like she's like a antique person or an anthropologist, something. She does something in like that takes a lot of intelligence, and she's been on the earth for, we find out, she's 5,000 years. 5,000 years.
Oh, 5,000 years. I thought they said 500 years.
Their origin story is in Roman times, which is before Jesus. so that's more than 2,000 years ago. So her origin story is 5,000 years ago. So that was, and who else? Yeah. Oh, okay. So let's talk about the honorable mention characters that were sad that they literally cut out. The lady that sang the hymn, to Aquaman, they just cut her out. Like, she didn't matter. I'm like, what? Amber's character. What's the actual character's name? But her name's Amber, whatever, the crazy lady that is
totally cut her out.
Johnny Depp. Cut her out. She had whole scenes, long lines, the whole dialogue. Cut her out. They gave her like 2 seconds. She had a whole fight scene where she like sucks the blood out of Steppenwolf, which was gangster. Cut that out.
Yep.
God knows why.
The
Flash.
Go ahead. The Flash's girlfriend. They also cut out. They cut out.
Flash saved the world.
Yeah, they cut totally. Flash saved the world. They totally cut that
He
out.
ran time back.
Yeah. Which explains how it is that he managed to get back to talk to, as he's older, to get back to Batman, because he learned how to basically run through backwards and forwards in time.
Yeah.
I liked that they added in when Cyborg touched the ship, that the ship was like this is the, like, showed him the future that would start, like that he would start by waking Superman.
Yeah.
I also liked that they gave Superman and Lois more time. They showed us way more time of them being together. Because I kind of feel like in the movie, and Lois, they cut out half that woman's freaking movie. She had so much more movie in the beginning. She was like, you got to see Lois. You got to see her like actually mourn, and the police officer that she brought the coffee to.
They don't have that stupid scene. Okay, there was 2 things that when I saw that happen, I was like, thank God they cut this out. Do you remember in the first movie where Cyborg and Flash are digging up Superman, and the Flash goes to give him DAP, and he says something about it being racially charged? Do you remember that line in the movie?
Yeah.
They cut that out, and I'm glad, because that was dumb. I tried to point out to Derek, and he was like, I don't remember that line. I was like, I remember, because it was stupid. And then there was something else. Oh, Lois, when she talks to the mom, and the mom says something about her being thirsty. Do you remember that scene? That doesn't happen at all. She doesn't even interact with Superman's mom. She interacts with Martian Manhunter.
Right, because Martian. Yes, right.
Yeah. So there were some lines that they kept that I liked. When Superman goes, so how did you save the house? And he goes, well, I bought the bank. That was a cute line.
I was going to be a little heartbroken if they cut that out. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I will say that I am not a huge Ben Affleck person, and I was not a fan of him as Batman. he was way better. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not Jarvis. What's his name in Batman?
The butler.
Played by what's his name that plays
Scar.
Scar. What's his name? I can't remember right now.
I
That's
can't remember his
terrible.
name right now.
But anyways, he was awesome in this movie. I liked his character a lot more. Again, he didn't have a lot of, they cut a lot of his lines. Like it was
Alfred.
like Alfred. Yes, Alfred. They cut a lot of his moments out. And
they kept the moment where that was from the original movie where he was talking to Cyborg and Cyborg goes, "I've got this, Alfred," and he goes like, "Who am I speaking with?" or "Who is this?"
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons is the actor. Yeah. There was something. Oh, there was a line that Batman said when he was getting on the plane, when they were getting on the ship to fly away. I can't even remember the exact quote. I just remember being like, "That was a good." Oh, he said something about it being about faith now, and not about. That was a
you
great
have to have faith,
line.
Alfred. He said something like, you have to have faith, Alfred, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, what Batman is that? And I told Derek, I was like, Batman had one of two choices. When Superman died, either Batman just hid in a hole and gave up on the world, or he had to realize, okay, it's my response. I messed up. I have to continue to save the world and become a better Batman. And I think that the way that they cut it, he became a better Batman.
Yeah. I will say, after watching Batman vs. Superman, I'm not 100% positive why it is that Batman is convinced that he killed Superman, because that's not how the movie ended. So
I was really confused when they started the movie because I was like, babe, Batman killed him? I was like, wait, what?
He did not kill him. So they say that the reason I think Batman feels guilty is because he was the one who drug him out there, and he ends up getting killed by Doomsday. But Lex Luthor for sure killed Superman. Like,
didn't he give him the technology? Wasn't Batman responsible for the technology that ends up killing Batman?
No, Lex Luthor uses Batman's ship. He gets access to it from the government. He bribes the government into giving him access to Superman's ship, and he creates Doomsday from what's his name, Zod. He creates Doomsday from Zod's body or whatever.
I need to watch this movie again.
All stuff that, like, I didn't like. Yeah, you need to watch Batman vs. Superman again, because honestly, after watching the Zack Snyder's version of Justice League, I was like, okay, I have to go back and watch Batman vs. Superman now, because now this movie's gonna make way more sense, because it just didn't. Justice League made no sense based on, like, there's so many things about it that I liked. It's kind of hard to, like, nail them all down.
We do need to mention one thing. I do want to mention one thing before, because we probably should wrap this conversation up, because we could end up talking for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say was Lex Luthor at the end of the movie stressed me out, because he meets up with Deathstroke, and he tells Deathstroke that Batman's real name is Bruce Wayne.
Oh, Deathstroke! I didn't know who that was.
He's the one with the swords, Deathstroke.
Oh, okay. Right,
I only know who
Deathstroke
is. I only know who Deathstroke is because I know he's a villain, and I only know he's a villain because of watching Teen Titans, or the Titans on the DC, on HBOMax, whatever. We watched that series, and Derek was like, oh my gosh, because Deathstroke's daughter, like, ends up becoming a Titan. And I was like, babe, who's Deathstroke? He's like, he's gangster, he's like one of the best villains, this and that. And I was like, what? He actually apparently joined Suicide Squad at some. No, there's another group that he's in. I guess, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I think Lex Luthor. I was like, oh my gosh, so much anxiety. So between Superman becoming psycho, apparently, Lex Luthor running the world because he basically manipulates Superman by orchestrating what seems to be the killing of Lois.
Oh yeah.
And then the world goes crazy. So. I don't know. I'm excited. Yes, go watch it. Carve out 4 hours, even if you have to do it like a mini series like we did over here. It's really, really good. And yeah, okay. So now we need to get into our go girl or no girls. Do you have one?
Yes. So my go girl is that I've been kind of stressed out trying to finish out. Like, I had some action items for the community center project that I'm working on. I think I've mentioned on the podcast before, but I needed to find somebody to create, like, to do a mock-up of a logo for part of this project. And I was like, I'm new to Indianapolis. I have no idea. Like, who am I going to find? And I actually had a call with her. Her name's Taylor. I had a call with her today that went really, really well. So I'm very excited. I'm actually going to get to kind of present like my first project that's like fully formed with like ideas and like, you know, I feel like I'm actually kind of, I guess for a little bit, I kind of felt like I was just kind of on the advisory board and like kind of like a silent contributor in my head contributing. So now feeling like I'm actually going to contribute to this and like contribute my ideas in like a really professional, like concise way, I'm really excited about. So I was very proud of that today. I was all hype about about the call and that she actually even got back to me. So yay. It's gonna be awesome. I'm really excited about this project.
That is awesome, dude. I'm so happy for you with this project.
Thank you.
So my no girl, well, actually I have a go girl this week. I had a no girl last week. My go girl is that I was saying earlier that I finally started to make an effort towards making friends. So I said a couple weeks ago that I asked out one of my girlfriends that goes to F45. And so this week, there's another lady that works with me, and she's actually one of the coaches there, and she's like super cool, and we're always like laughing and talking about stuff and like going back and forth on Instagram and just like chatting it up or whatever. And I was like, it would be cool if like we went and had coffee or like went and had brunch or whatever. But I was telling Amber off mic that I was like really nervous about it because I didn't want to like, since she works at the gym that I go to, I didn't want it to seem like, I don't know. I just felt like it would be, on the one hand, maybe she was just nice because I come there every single day and like, it's just like a customer service thing and it's not really like a friendship or whatever. But Amber convinced me and Derek convinced me that that's dumb and just see if she wants to go have lunch with you. And she's actually really excited. And she actually said to me a couple days ago, like, hey, like, what day were you thinking? Like, I have these 3 days that'll work for me and blah, 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 blah. So it's like, I was like, it's nice to actually like have, I don't want to feel like I'm always the person that's like, hey, let's go get coffee. And then they're like, oh yeah, I'll check my schedule. And then they never check their schedule, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm super excited about that. We're not going to go until next week because Phoenix is on spring break this week. But yeah, I'll have some exciting updates from over the weekend for you guys too, but I'll leave that as like a surprise for next week. Yes, exactly. But yeah, I think that's all we have. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please, please, please let us know what you thought about the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League because we loved it. And we don't normally talk about like what would be considered like quote unquote nerdy things on here. But I mean, it's our podcast, so we're going to talk about whatever we want.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's about dinner time where you are right now because we're recording.
Yes, I'm so hungry.
Yes, so I will let you go, and we will talk to you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening. Everything's in the description, and